Hi, my name is Jordan Urbanski, and I will be doing this presentation on eukaryotic cells, plant and animal cells, and their similarities and differences for my biology class at Unity College. Alright, jumping into it. Eukaryotic cell. So what is a eukaryotic cell? A eukaryotic cell is any cell or organism that has a clearly defined nucleus. Unlike prokaryotic cells such as algae or bacteria, eukaryotic cells are found in plants and animals as well as fungi and protists. Each cell serves a purpose in allowing the organism to function as a whole. Oops, sorry. Okay, sorry. The functions of eukaryotic cells, an overview. So the purpose and function of a eukaryotic cell is energy balance, metabolism, gene expression, transfer of nutrients, and functions needed to keep organisms alive and healthy. So anything that your body does requires cells that function to do any kind of task, processing micromolecules or macromolecules, converting things into energy for your body, and even fighting off diseases. Alright, eukaryotic cell main structure. So the structure of a eukaryotic cell includes a membrane-bound nucleus, numerous membrane-bound organelles, a Golgi apparatus, and rod-shaped chromosomes. And to the right is a picture of a plant cell. The similarities between eukaryotic plant cells and animal cells. Both cells have a membrane-bound nucleus, a Golgi apparatus, vacuole. A animal cell has many small vacuoles, whereas a plant cell has one large central vacuole. Mitochondria is also something they both have in common. Smooth endoplasmic reticulum, peroxisome, Golgi vesicles, rough endoplasmic reticulum, and microtubules. As you can see by my diagrams that I put on here, there are a lot of similarities between both structures, but they have different shapes, and there's a lot of things that the plant cell actually has that animal cells do not. Alright, a few organelles and their functions. So, membrane-bound nucleus. The membrane-bound nucleus is a central hub or brain of the cell. Think of it as a control center for the functions of the cell, as well as the holder of cellular information and DNA. Golgi apparatus. The Golgi apparatus is an organelle used by the cell to pack proteins and lipids, especially proteins that are going to be exported from the cell. Lysosomes. Lysosomes are an organelle that destroys old, worn-out parts of the cell and even attacks diseases or defends against disease. Alright, and vacuoles. Vacuoles are organelles that have spaces within them that are used to store products or even waste within a cell. Plants have large singular vacuoles and animals have many small vacuoles. Plant cell structure. Plant cells unique to the function of a plant. They contain chloroplasts, which convert light into energy through the process of photosynthesis, intermediate filaments, which are structural organelles used to hold rigidity in plants, amyloplasts, organelles responsible for the storage of starch granules, and a different structural shape. So, plant cells have a cell wall that join together with other cell walls, giving them a more rectangular structure, and this is so that a plant can hold its structure. The levels of plant structure. This is also known as levels of organization. So there's cells, which form together to make tissues, which form together to make organs such as leaves or stems, organ system, and then there's the organism, which is the entire plant. Alright, cell structure. Animal cells have different organelles than plant cells. Lysosomes, which are organelles within animal cells that have enzymes that consume old cell organelles, lipids, nucleic acids, and proteins. So they kind of are the recyclers of the cell. And then centrosomes, which are a microtubule organizing center in which it replicates itself and aids in cell division. And they're kind of neat. They look like tunnels that are perpendicular to each other. Alright, and then same for plants. There's cells, tissues, organs, organ systems, and organisms. So it all forms together to make up the next part of the whole organism. Alright, then we have plant cells. While plant cells seem less complex, they actually have a lot going on. Not only are they the structural basis for a plant, but they provide nutrients and in order for the plants to grow and have radiant colors and even vegetation. And then animal cells perform many functions in order to sustain life. From blood cells to skin cells and everything in between, animal cells prove to be very complex in function. One thing that I found really interesting during this whole process of researching and putting this together is just how complex plant cells actually are. When you think of animals, you think of so many different kinds of cells and different functions, but plant cells are really very complex and they have very different purposes and functions. And I thought it was also interesting how these cells are different shaped to hold the structure. So that is something I learned while doing this. Alright, and here's my references. Thank you so much for watching, and I really appreciate it, and have a good weekend.